Listen to me carefully, my friend. If you want to change your life forever, you don't need 100 rules or 1,000 secrets. You need only 3 daily habits. But I will break them down into 5 powerful points, so you will never forget them. When I tell you that the way you start your day determines the way you live your life, I mean it with every muscle in my body and every victory I have earned. Discipline is the foundation. Without it you can have all the talent, all the dreams, and all the ambition. But you will fall apart when things get hard. You see, people love to talk about motivation. They want to feel pumped up. They want that fire in their belly. But let me tell you something. Motivation is weak. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright for a moment, and then it dies. Discipline, on the other hand, is the fire that never goes out, because you build it brick by brick, choice by choice, every single day. And it begins the moment you wake up. Most people roll out of bed like victims. They hit the snooze button, they pull the blanket back over their heads, and they let the day control them instead of taking control of the day. That is not how champions are made. Champions wake up with purpose. When the alarm rings, they don't argue, they don't negotiate, they don't delay. They get up, they stand tall, and they go. That is discipline. That is power. Now listen. Discipline doesn't mean you have to wake up at 4 a.m. like a Navy SEAL or run 10 miles before breakfast. Discipline means you decide, you commit, and you execute every single day. It can be something as small as making your bed, doing 10 push-ups, or drinking a glass of water instead of grabbing your phone. The point is, you create momentum. You start the day on your terms, not the world's terms, because the world is already waiting to distract you, to pull you in 100 directions. If you don't build your wall of discipline in the morning, you will be crushed by the chaos later. Let me give you an example. When I was young in Austria, I didn't have much, but I had my dream, and I had my routine. Every morning, no matter how cold it was, no matter how tired I was, I got up and I trained. My friends wanted to sleep. They wanted to party. They wanted to take it easy, but I wanted to be the best. So I chose discipline over comfort. I chose sweat over sleep. And that discipline gave me the body that took me to America, the championships, the movies, the governorship, everything. Without that habit of starting the day with discipline, none of it would have been possible. And this is why I tell you, don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. The discipline is not about how you feel, it's about what you do. If you rely on your feelings, you will fail. If you rely on your habits, you will win. Every morning is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. Every morning is a chance to set the tone for the rest of the day. Ask yourself, do you want to start the day like a lion or like a sheep? Do you want to wake up and attack your goals? Or do you want to wake up and crawl through life like everyone else? Discipline is the difference. And here is the truth. Discipline is freedom, because when you have control over yourself, you have control over your future. You don't wait for luck. You don't depend on someone else. You build your destiny one disciplined morning at a time. So my friends, remember this. Champions don't hope for a good day. They create it. They don't wait for energy. They generate it. And it all begins the second you open your eyes. Discipline is the foundation of greatness. And if you master it every morning, you will master your entire life. When I tell you to feed your mind, not just your stomach, I am telling you the truth that separates champions from the ordinary. Anyone can eat food and survive, but not everyone feeds their mind and thrives. You see, your body needs fuel to move, but your mind needs fuel to grow. If you only train your muscles and ignore your brain, you are building half a champion. Muscles without wisdom are useless. Power without knowledge is dangerous. And this is why, every single day, you must commit to feeding your mind. Too many people spend hours scrolling through nonsense, watching meaningless content, filling their heads with junk. Then they wonder why they feel weak, why they feel lost, why they cannot focus. It is because what you put into your mind shapes your destiny. Garbage in, garbage out, but greatness in, greatness out. It's that simple. If you want to think like a winner, you must feed your mind like a winner. When I was a young boy in Austria, I didn't just lift weights. I read books. I studied philosophy. I learned from people who were smarter and wiser than me, because I understood something very early. The body can only take you so far, but the mind can take you anywhere. The great leaders, the innovators, the creators, they are not just strong, they are smart. They know how to think, how to adapt, how to outwork and outsmart the competition. And that only comes from feeding your mind. So how do you do it? It doesn't mean you need to study for 10 hours like a professor or read 100 books in a month. No, it means you dedicate a little time every day to learning. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a good book. Maybe it's listening to a podcast about business, health, or history. Maybe it's learning a new language or practicing a new skill. The key is consistency. One page, one lesson, one new idea every day. It compounds over time. After a year, you will not even recognize the person you have become. And let me be very clear, you must be careful about what you feed your mind. Just like you wouldn't eat poison for breakfast, you should not feed your brain with negativity, gossip, and distractions. The world is full of noise, and if you let it in, it will kill your focus. So choose your diet for the mind carefully. Surround yourself with knowledge, with inspiration, with truth. Read about people who have done great things. Learn from their failures and their victories. Train your brain the same way you train your biceps, with resistance, with repetition, with intensity. Remember this, the body will age, the muscles will shrink, but the mind can stay sharp forever if you feed it. That is why some of the greatest people in history did their best work when they were old, because they never stopped learning. Discipline in the gym gave me my body, but discipline in feeding my mind gave me my career, my vision, my ability to lead and inspire. Without that, I would still be just a guy with big muscles. And here is the secret. When you feed your mind, you also feed your confidence. Because knowledge gives you certainty. When you walk into a room and you know your craft, when you understand the world, when you can speak with wisdom, people respect you. Opportunities open. Doors unlock. That is the power of a well-fed mind. So my friends, do not waste your brain power. Don't let your mind starve while your stomach is full. Every day, ask yourself, what am I learning today? What am I feeding my mind? Because champions don't just train their bodies, they sharpen their minds. And if you do this every single day, your life will change forever. You will not just survive, you will conquer. Taking consistent action toward your goal is where dreams become reality. Everybody loves to dream. Everybody loves to talk big, to make plans, to write down their goals on paper. But most people stop there. They get excited for a few days, maybe a week, and then they quit. Why? Because action is hard. Action requires sacrifice. And consistent action day after day, week after week, that is where champions are made. That is where you separate the people who talk from the people who achieve. When I came to America, I had nothing but a suitcase, a few dollars, and a dream. I wanted to be the greatest bodybuilder in the world, and then I wanted to be a movie star. Did people laugh at me? Yes. Did they say it was impossible? Every single day. But I didn't just talk about it. I didn't just wish for it. I took action. I trained in the gym for hours every morning. I worked jobs to pay my bills. I studied acting. I practiced my accent. I worked on my poses. And I did it not once, not twice, but every single day. That consistency, that relentless action, is what turned a dream into history. You see, one big action will not change your life. One day of hard work will not make you successful. Just like one workout will not make you strong, one diet will not make you lean. It is the accumulation of effort over time that builds greatness. Small steps, done consistently, create massive results. That is why I tell you, never underestimate the power of daily action. The problem with most people is they wait. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect plan. Let me tell you something, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect opportunity. The only perfect time is right now. If you take action today, you are already ahead of the millions of people who are still waiting. And once you start, you must keep going. Even when it's boring, even when it's painful, even when nobody is watching. That is the difference between winners and losers. Winners do it daily. Losers do it when it's convenient. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not always exciting, but it is powerful. Think about water dripping on stone. One drop means nothing, but thousands of drops over time can carve a hole through solid rock. That is what your daily action does. It carves your future. It shapes your destiny. It builds your legacy. And let me give you some advice. Don't focus on being perfect. Focus on being consistent. Too many people quit because they mess up once. They eat one bad meal. They miss one workout. They skip one day of work and they say, "Oh, I failed." No, you didn't fail. You are human. Get back on track. Consistency is about the long game. It is about coming back again and again, no matter how many times you stumble. Another secret: action creates clarity. You don't need to have everything figured out. Just start moving. When you take action, you learn, you adjust, you grow. But if you sit still, if you wait, you learn nothing. When I started acting, I was not perfect. My English was rough. My accent was heavy, but I took action anyway. And over time, I got better, because consistency brings improvement. So my friends, remember this. Talk less, do more, dream less, act more. Don't let your goals stay trapped in your head. Bring them into reality with consistent daily action. Even small steps count, because they add up to giant leaps. If you want to build a body, a career, a business, a life, whatever it is, you must commit to showing up every single day. No excuses. Champions are not built in one day. They are built day by day, action by action, brick by brick. So stop waiting, stop talking, take action, and keep taking action until the world cannot ignore you anymore. That is how you change your life forever. Training your body like a machine is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Without strength, without energy, without health, everything else in your life suffers. You can have the greatest ideas, the sharpest mind, the biggest dreams, but if your body is weak, you will not have the power to carry them out. Your body is the engine, and if the engine fails, the car goes nowhere. This is why I tell you, you must train your body every single day. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, every day. People often ask me, "Arnold, why are you still training at your age? You've won all the championships, you've done the movies, you've built the legacy, why train?" And my answer is always the same, because training is not just about winning trophies. Training is about staying alive, staying sharp, staying powerful. Training is about honoring the gift of this body. It is about respecting yourself enough to keep your engine strong. You don't stop brushing your teeth just because you brushed them yesterday. The same is true for your muscles, your lungs, your heart. You must keep them clean, strong, and working. When I was young, bodybuilding was my passion, but the lessons I learned in the gym apply to everything in life. Training your body teaches you discipline, because the weights don't lie. If you skip, if you cheat, if you don't put in the work, it shows. Training your body teaches you patience, because results don't come overnight. It takes months, years of effort, and this builds character. Training your body teaches you resilience, because every workout is a battle between comfort and growth. And if you win that battle every day, you become unstoppable. Now, training doesn't mean you need to look like a bodybuilder or lift 1,000 pounds. That's not the point. The point is movement. The point is using your body the way it was designed to used. Maybe it's lifting weights. Maybe it's running, cycling, swimming, yoga. It doesn't matter. What matters is you move your body like a machine that must stay oiled, maintained, and ready. The more you move, the more energy you create. And the more energy you create, the more you can give to your work, your family, your goals, your dreams. Most people treat their bodies like garbage trucks. They fill them with junk food. They let them sit idle, and then they are surprised when the engine breaks down. Don't do that. Treat your body like a Ferrari. Give it good fuel. Keep it tuned up. Drive it every day. Because unlike a car, you don't get to buy a new body. This is the only one you have, and how you treat it will determine the quality of your life. And here's something important. When you train your body, you train your mind too. Exercise is not just physical, it sharpens your focus, it reduces your stress, it clears your head. After a workout, you feel alive, you feel capable, you feel ready to conquer. That mental strength carries over into every part of your life. This is why some of my best ideas, my clearest decisions came to me after training. The body and the mind are connected. When one is strong, the other becomes stronger. So my friends, never make the excuse of no time. You always have time to train. You can do push-ups in your living room. You can walk instead of driving. You can take the stairs instead of the elevator. The point is not perfection. The point is consistency. Do something every day. Move your body, build your strength, and keep the machine running. Because one day, you will face challenges, tough days, heavy burdens, obstacles that seem impossible. And when that day comes, your body must be ready. If you train daily, if you respect the machine, you will have the power to push through. But if you neglect it, if you let it rust, life will break you. Train your body like a machine, and you will not just survive, you will thrive. You will have the energy to chase your goals, the strength to face your battles, and the confidence to live fully. That is why I say, don't wait, don't think, move. Train today and every day after, because this machine, your body, is the key to unlocking the rest of your life. Reflection and gratitude are the final pieces that turn discipline, knowledge, action, and training into a complete life. You can work hard all day, you can push your body, you can learn new things, you can take consistent action, but if you never stop to reflect, you will never truly grow. And if you never practice gratitude, you will never truly be fulfilled. This is why I say every day before you close your eyes, you must take a moment to reflect and to be grateful. Reflection is about honesty. It is about looking at yourself in the mirror, not the mirror that shows your muscles or your face, but the mirror of the mind. Ask yourself, what did I do today? Did I give my best effort? Did I waste time? Did I move closer to my goal or further away? Most people are afraid of these questions because they don't want the truth. They want to pretend everything is fine. But champions face the truth. Champions look at their mistakes, learn from them, and adjust. Reflection is not about guilt, it's about growth. Every mistake is a lesson, and every lesson makes you stronger if you are willing to face it. I remember when I was competing, after every contest I would reflect. If I won, I asked, why did I win? What worked? If I lost, I asked, why did I lose? What must I improve? That reflection made me unstoppable. Because while others were celebrating or complaining, I was learning. Reflection is the tool that sharpens the blade of discipline and action. Without it, you are swinging blindly. With it, every day becomes progress. Now let's talk about gratitude. Gratitude is the force that keeps you grounded. It is easy to get caught up in ambition, to always chase the next trophy, the next dollar, the next victory. But if you never stop to appreciate what you already have, you will live in emptiness. Gratitude is not weakness. It is strength. It gives you perspective. When you are grateful for your health, your family, your opportunities, you realize how rich you already are. And that gratitude gives you energy to keep going. Some people think gratitude means being satisfied and stopping. No. Gratitude does not kill ambition, it fuels it. Because when you are grateful, you are not chasing goals out of fear or insecurity. You are chasing them out of passion, out of purpose. Gratitude reminds you that you are lucky to even have the chance to fight for your dreams. Millions of people would trade places with you in a second. So when you are grateful, you stop making excuses, you stop complaining, you take responsibility, and you move forward with power. Gratitude also makes you a better human being. Success without gratitude creates arrogance. Power without gratitude creates corruption. But when you are grateful, you remain humble. You remember the people who helped you, the opportunities that shaped you, the struggles that made you strong, and you treat others with respect. Because you know how much was given to you. That is true greatness. So here is what I tell you. Every night, before bed, take 5 minutes. Reflect on your day. What did you do well? What can you improve? Write it down if you must. Then list 3 things you are grateful for. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's simply the fact that you have another day to fight. Do this every night, and I promise, your life will change. You will sleep better, you will wake up stronger, and you will live with more power. Discipline makes you strong. Feeding your mind makes you wise. Action makes you unstoppable. Training your body makes you powerful. But reflection and gratitude, they make you whole. Without them, success feels empty. With them, success feels like purpose. So my friends, never skip this final step. Reflect, be grateful, and keep going. Because life is not just about how far you go, it's about how deeply you appreciate the journey. And when you master gratitude, you don't just win trophies, you win life.